K100 Radio. What's going on? Listen, man, it's going down, man. We live right now. Shoot Your Shot Film Festival. You know what's popping, man. What's going on, man? Cam, holla at my folks, man. What's good with them, fam?
What's good with y'all? Hey, I'm right here at the Shoot Your Shot Film Festival with my man. We doing big things here in Atlanta. Y'all just, stay tuned for everything that he got going on, because my man is right here.
Exactly. That's what's up, man. So first of all, tell us where you from, bro.
Born and raised in Los Angeles, California, out here, just supporting my guy with this film festival and just making sure that, we give back as filmmakers, as producers, as network execs, and making sure that, we do what we do for our folks.
Absolutely. So what's the name of the company and the production company that you run up under?
So the name of my company is 11Elven Network. We are an all-black streaming platform located in Los Angeles.
All right.
And that's us.
So you LA. Now you're in Atlanta. Hollywood, big Hollywood, California, the movie state, whatever. But now things are kind of popping over here in Black Hollywood, Atlanta right now. Can you talk about that real quick and talk about some of the things that you see happening over here in Atlanta as opposed to how they already been going on for decades and however long out there in Cali?
Of course, man. Black Hollywood is Atlanta, period. I mean, we've been coming over here since 96, man, trying to get some things going out here. And now it is burgeoning, it's booming. We got, different series coming out here. We got the Tyler Perry stuff. So we got big studios out here, just like we got in Cali. We got different series that are, on network, as well as digital, as well as features. So, I mean, it's an explosion, but I mean, it's been happening for a while. It's just that now the credit is there. Now the prestige is there.
Right.
Now everybody in Atlanta wants to pick up a camera and begin to shoot, and that isn't something that we've seen in a while. In Cali, we was always doing that.
Right.
But now we got all these different filmmakers, all these different writers, all these different creators, which is a brilliant thing.
Exactly, man. I love that. So, yesterday, we met for the first time yesterday. You know what I'm saying? One of the many people that I'm going to be meeting, this weekend at the Shoot Your Shot Film Festival, and we had a long conversation. We were just sitting at the bar waiting in an intermission. We talked about everything from like society and movies, and we talked about a lot of different things. One thing I wanted to ask you on camera, we talked about black cinema, and we talked about like how it's depicted and how influential hip hop, which is our genre and our niche, because we're urban radio, hip hop broadcast, and how that ties into the psychology of just being black people and what we see on the screen and what we hear in the music. I want you to touch on that a little bit in this particular interview. Like, we've got all kind of movies that were submitted for Shoot Your Shot. We've got just science fiction. We've got animated series, dramas. Talk about how, as a creator, how do you feel about what content you put out there in the space right now, and what you're presenting on your platform, and that represents us as a people?
No doubt. I mean, first and foremost, what we do is we navigate through the independent space. So we don't need the A-listers. We don't need the people that are starting brand new. We want everybody that is in this middle gray area, is what I like to call it, right? Because they are the ones that don't have the attention. They are the ones that don't have the audience, and that's where we're going to get, our next superstars, I believe. So the type of content that we put out is everything from music to comedy to fashion to episodic to little features, but it's all based on pretty much our community. And when I say our community, I mean, the people that came out of the hip-hop era, jazz, R&B era, and being able to encapsulate that and being able to tell all of the different stories that aren't out there. It's not just hood stories. It's not just, blaxploitation or things that put us in a negative light. One thing that I definitely want to do is make sure that the energy that we provide is something that pushes the culture forward. 1111 is the manifestation number. People don't know. That means that you manifest what it is that you want, your destiny, your career, your successes, and things of that nature. So we want to manifest the culture.
Okay, got it.
Right?
Yeah. And I like the meaning behind the name. It's thoughts, put some thought into it. Somebody be like, well, what does that even mean? I'm glad you broke it down. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to talk about, first of all, not first of all, but again, and touch on like the Shoot Your Shot Film Festival itself. Like, have you, this is the second day. This is the, probably going to be one of the main days today and tomorrow. Just so far, how has it been for you? Your experience so far at the festival. And what about some of the content that you've been screening so far?
Indeed. So I've been to probably a good 1,000 screen film festivals over my career. I was talking to you yesterday. I started at the Screen Actors Guild, was there for 20 years. Did the film festivals circuit, did the awards stuff. So coming into this, I was looking for it to be this flagship of a new film festival for Atlanta to wrap themselves around and embrace it. And the filmmakers that we have that have put their pieces into this, you can definitely tell that they have spent some time with their craft.
Right.
Yesterday, my first day here, saw two great pieces. One called Virtual Babysitter, and the second one was called D-Control. And both of them, we sat back after watching them and said, hey, you know what, if I was an exec, I can run with this because the concept is great. Today, second day here, things are abuzz. Saw a couple of pieces already. One that stood out, which was hilarious, which is Blexicans. That one, man, it's going to have some legs on it.
Right.
Met the creators, met the writers, and we're out here just supporting each other and making sure that this goes off and is very successful. Later on, we have a panel going on. I'll be speaking on the panel, so that we'll be talking about more of these issues also.
Okay. And what do you think is one of the issue that you just feel like that you need to address, or that needs to be addressed at this film festival for anybody who may be here, whether it be creative or just here to network? Like, what's one thing that you just feel like, I know you're going to talk about several things, but the thing that you just want to get into, we're going to get a little bit of the panel before the panel. Like, I know they're going to ask you specific questions, but what is it that you like, I just hope they ask me this question right here so I can say what I need to say. You know what I mean?
So many. But I'm going to stand on this and say, before coming to this particular film festival, I kind of took it for granted. There's so many film festivals. There's so many places for you to insert your content and go to that thing. People want to go to the one that is the shiny penny.
Right.
They want to go to the one that has the prestige and this, that, and the other. But sometimes you're not ready for that step. Whether it's your production, whether it's the quality of your project, the writing, whatever it is, you have to have a place in which you start from. Right? So Shoot Your Shot not only gives you a place to start from, but it gives the intermediate as well as the people that would be able to go somewhere with their particular piece of content. But further from that, it's a smaller group of people that are watching these things.
Right.
So you might get one person that sees it versus thousands of people that watch it but don't do anything with it.
Exactly.
So it's more intimate and personal. And my thing and my takeaway from this is to look for film festivals that are niche, that are specific, that are up and coming. Because if you're an up and coming person, it would only make sense for you to align yourself with things that are building.
Exactly. And people want to go to Canes or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're not even, it's like an independent artist giving us a song and it's not even mixed and mastered, but you wanted to go to FM. It's like, that ain't how, I know you want to be on it, but your song literally is legit not ready to be played on the FM. And just from a pure quality perspective, not even if I like the song or not, it's not going to sound good
and
coming
then
out the
they wonder
speakers.
Why it doesn't get any play, or why people are like,
it's
it
the same
was cool.
Thing. But you know what I'm saying, we understand it. So, and this is one other question. So, it takes exponentially more to create a visual medium like a movie, not even just a music video, but a movie, a whole full and a series. It takes more work, takes more time, more money.
Yes.
All right. It takes years for them to develop, and you got more people that you can't just be one person and create a whole movie, right? It doesn't work like that.
No.
So the importance of patience in this particular industry, I think, is key. And if you could touch on that a little bit, because I think people feel like our audience, our niche audience, of course, is music and independent artists and hip hop, and that's what we do. But we also operate in the space of independent entrepreneurs, businessmen, filmmakers, and stuff like that too. And it's not the same. You have to be patient. You have to understand this is a long game, right? Because when you look at the back of a real production, you see the credits are rolling. It's hundreds of names, different jobs, different responsibilities that actually made that one movie happen.
One piece. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what it takes as a team to build team building and patience in this particular industry.
So the first thing is that one of the titles that I just mentioned is Blexicans. Now, if you go and watch that on the onset, there's at least, let's say, 5 to 10 people that you would recognize from TV and movies that have A-list credits on screen. Okay, it took that particular filmmaker 6 months to get to where he wanted to be able to present something of that caliber.
Right.
And that's a person that has good talent in it. Our initial filmmakers, a lot of times we start with our friends, family, and the people closest to us to star in these particular deals, right? So I always encourage people, if you're going to step out on your best foot. Okay, go do everything that you can do that a real big production would do. Just scale it down. So if they have a casting, go out and just do a casting. See if you can get some other actors outside of your friends and family to do type of stuff. Just small things like that will help every step that they have going on.
Right.
And while you're going through this process, just understand that none of this happens overnight. They say that an overnight success takes 10 years in the making.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that is, I'm 20 years in the making, and
Right.
I'm just now, touching the surface of all the stuff that we're doing. I mean,
Right.
I've been to different panels, different workshops, things of that nature. Never been on the actual panels themselves. I've attended, been to film festivals, haven't actually submitted, but now I'm stepping out in front of the camera. I'm
Right,
stepping
right,
out in
right.
front of the stuff.
Right.
That's 20 years in the making.
Yeah.
Talk about patience.
Exactly.
Right? And then while you're doing it, to have the humility and be able to say, hey, I can be taught, I can listen, I'm going to pay attention to people that have done it before, and I'm going to take them, because we all jump into this thing with this big ego, like, I'm gonna do it all myself. I'm gonna be the writer, director, producer, this, that, and the other. Everybody's not Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Everybody's not John
and,
Singleton.
and even then, they may have been the writer, the director, and all that, but they still had to have a
They
cast
still had to have a crew.
and a crew.
They had to have
Period.
all
It
of
does-
the people behind.
This is not here. You can't just go in the studio and lock yourself in there with
Right.
your Pro Tools and your one mic and come up with a song. You can. Yeah, a music artist can create a
can't
whole song.
SoundCloud or SoundClick a movie
that's,
or a
that's
TV
not
show.
how this works at all. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want. I want people that because that's our audience, and it's like
Right.
And one more thing I want to talk about the importance of, and I want to ask several people this question over the course of the weekend. The importance of the marriage of the music industry and the film industry,
Right.
because this is, of course, Atlanta is ATL. Atlanta is the music industry, but it's quickly becoming the film industry, and I don't understand why they just haven't like that complete marriage. It's like you don't have to. They should. These people here that are doing these films, I cannot for the life of me understand why. If you're creating content in a city like Atlanta or anywhere that's close by, you're going to like music libraries online to find
Right.
music for your
It's
it's
real
crazy.
simple,
You know
man.
how many?
It's real simple.
It's what you tell me the answer. Tell me the answer. Why do people have to go to music libraries?
Filmmakers like actors
Oh.
don't want to be associated with something that is not professionally looked at from the craft. When I worked at Screen Actors Guild, actors didn't want to be on the same screen as Netflix actors,
Okay.
right? I'm trained, I'm a thespian, I do all of this stuff.
Okay.
These guys just come from YouTube.
Okay.
Right? So that was the argument, right?
Okay.
Now, 5 years later, those Netflix actors are bigger than some of these other actors that were on big screens.
And now you got everybody named Mama doing Netflix movies.
Right.
You got Will
So-
Smith doing Netflix movies and
So
Mark
the
Wahlberg.
same thing happens with music.
Right.
The film and TV aspect of it at the indie level don't marry with the music, regardless if it's indie or major stuff, because they look at it as two different industries and two different lanes that they're trying to get, as opposed to say, let's take somebody like an Issa Rae, right? When you go watch an Issa Rae episodic, you hear all kind of music that you have never heard.
Exactly.
Which prompted her to create a whole nother company that she was like, oh, I'm gonna make a record label. But you know what? No, I'm not gonna make a record label. I'm just gonna start creating a music library of
Right.
all of this independent music. So anytime I have a film or a TV episodic,
And that's-
I can get this music and put it on here and not only expose new artists, but create that sound design that we lack. Because when you go to these banks and these like these things that you find online in public domain, a lot of times it's stuff that's repetitive, and you have to really, really look, as opposed to I just pop over to your crib, right? And I know you're an artist, and I say, hey, bro, I'm making a movie. Make a song for me.
Right.
Forget what you already have going on.
Right.
What happened to soundtracks? What happened to original music
that match
and
it,
stuff,
you know
right?
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and just my role as a quasi music supervisor for some of the stuff that I've done,
Right.
that I've worked with, you know, doing scoring and stuff, and kind of sort of being a music supervisor. Not I wasn't getting paid, but I was basically doing music supervisor
you was
jobs.
doing it,
right? You know what I'm saying? Having that having that one song that fits the scene, like, because you know when you have to pitch, you know, when they put it out on these websites and stuff, well, we've got this particular scene, we want this song to match the scene, and you know, your ability as an artist to create something to actually match that, or if it's something that's already that you already have in the can,
Right.
that would match it up. But still, it's I just don't understand why that hasn't happened. But that's kind of like my campaign at this particular point. I'm like, I'm here also just as an attendee to meet people that are creative, because like, you know, I know if they dope and they're in Atlanta and they're indie,
Right.
we know who they are.
Right.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's our part of the
Y'all
culture.
are the mecca of artists. Like
Right.
I go back to LA and I put on these music festivals,
Right.
these indie music festivals that are are essentially like a Coachella or a South by Southwest, right?
Right.
And then we book out the location, like the place that we're at here. We put on 30 to 40 artists. May or may not have in attendance, because
Right.
that's not really the purpose. The purpose is to can it and then,
Right.
you know, distribute it on our particular
Right.
platform, right?
Right.
Those people don't even really mingle the way that they should. They don't overlap and do features with each other and stuff of that
Right,
nature.
right, right.
They're like, I want this big artist to do a feature because it's going to further my career. When I come to Atlanta, it might be 35 people I've never heard before, and they got songs together.
Yeah.
They got different things that they're doing within the city. They moving together. One thing about Atlanta, I say, is that when it comes to creativity and content and stuff, when it comes to us, urban, I won't even just say black, but urban content and stuff, we move together.
Yeah.
And I would love for y'all, not you per se, but the city of Atlanta to be that example to everybody else. And I understand I come from a land of what we was talking about, politics, street politics and things of that nature, and that makes it so that it's hard for some people to come together, because the majority of our artists, for whatever reason, have affiliations.
Right.
Whereas a while back, you know, you had eclectic cats, you had woke cats, you had gangster cats, this, that, and the other. So it wasn't so inundated to where I can't go do a song with you, because then I got to go to another neighborhood
Right.
that I might not be
not
accepted in.
Right.
Not even make it out, but I can't even get in.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then I come to Atlanta and I'm like, y'all just making music, y'all having a good time, you know, and regardless of what it's talking about, it's furthering the culture.
Yeah.
But that's very unique to hear, because there's no, whether it's New York or this, that, and the other, everybody looks to y'all as an example at this particular point, because the unity just ain't there for everybody else.
Exactly. And I just want that same level of unity in between the independent film community and the independent artist community.
Yeah.
I want them to come together the same way the artists work together. I'm just here hoping that I can further push along the independent filmmakers, even though I know it's a completely different thing.
So you know what you need to do on the next one?
You know.
Put together 10 artists to come perform in between these films that are being done. Nobody has done that at a film festival. I've been to so many film festivals. You've been to South by Southwest.
Right.
You've been to different stuff. You know, they even segment, this is the film day.
That's
this
the
is TV
film
day.
day.
This is the music day.
Definitely.
You got to be there. They don't
that
put
stage
it
is for
together.
that, and they don't marry it together. And I just feel like it's a no-brainer. But anyway, all right, this has been a great conversation. K100 Radio. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Before we go,
are tuned to K100 Radio, hip hop and R&B.
I gotta let you.
K100, you bastard!
I gotta let you give out all your contact information and any pertinent information you feel like anybody that was watching this interview and thought that was dope and was like, yo, that guy's talking about something. I need to get up with him. Where can they hit you up at?
You can hit us up at 1111 Network on IG. You can hit us up at Media Spill Spill Radio, Global Hustle. Those are the other companies that fall along with our little conglomerate that we have on the West Coast. You can hit me up, Cam Talbot, at the Cam Talbot Network, also on IG. Yeah, and just look out for some of the different properties that we have coming up. We have a show coming up this week called The Reek Effect, and it's going to be one of our music festivals wrapped around a influencer out of Clubhouse named CEO Reek. So that's something that's coming up right now, and those are my handles. So see you guys soon.
All right, man. K100 Radio. Hit that subscribe button. Hey.
K100 Radio.